Welcome to Technical Tuesday. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today we're going to continue our two-part series on moving averages. But before we start, smash the like button, share, and do subscribe, especially if you find value in this presentation. And one more thing, share it, especially if you're trading as a group and as friends. This will really help the entire group out. Now, when we're looking at moving averages, we discussed this last time. There are two types of moving averages. There's a simple moving average and there's an exponential or a weighted moving average. Now, a simple moving average is exactly that. You take the time frame, you divide it by the average price on a daily basis or a specific price on a daily basis, and boom, you've got yourself a moving average. Now, an exponential moving average adds a little bit more weight to the more recent activity. So yeah, it takes into consideration historical data that you're looking at. For example, if I'm looking at a 200-day moving average, it's going to look back to 200 days ago, but it's not going to add the same weight. It'll add the last 10 days or even the last 20 days and have much more weighted to the last 10 and 20 days. So it takes into consideration the previous information, but it adds more weight to more localized information. Now, the advantage of this is that you're not just getting a simple moving average. Now, historical data is great, but sometimes it's really irrelevant for the here and now. So that's why people tend to use exponential moving averages. Now, I use a simple moving average for my chart work. However, you could use either one. Now, in either case, the strategy that we're going to discuss today applies for both. So, for example, if we're looking at a regular moving average, it's generally not spoken to as a signal. Remember, last time I spoke as moving averages are there as confirmations, not to really necessarily a call of action. However, when you have two moving averages and there is what we call a crossover, that becomes a signal. So for example, I have a 5-day and a 10-day moving average. Now, when there is a double crossover, when I cross over with the short term, the 5-day over the 10-day, okay, that becomes a signal. Now, the reason the 5-day will be more likely not to break that 10-day moving average is, remember, the 5-day is much more closer to what the market is trading right now. So if the market is doing something adverse, that it's forcing the 5-day moving average to cross over the 10-day moving average, all bets are off, and that becomes a signal, and that shows us there is a turn in the market at that point. So looking at that, at a current activity right now, as we speak, is gold. Now, gold has been really flatlining for a very long time between 1926 and 1900 and 1880. It's been fluctuating within that range for a very long time. However, look at this. At that range where it traded at that 1900-ish level, 1926, there was that moving average crossed over. You could see it faintly. It's a blue line and it's a red line. The blue line is a 30-day moving average and the red line is an 8-day moving average. And once I got that, that was my confirmation that this was going down. Now guess what? When that capitulated, when that exhausted itself out, the same thing happened on the downside where I had the red line cross over the blue line once again, but this time it's the opposite direction. Now, if you look at the chart right now, we're right back to where we were, and we made pretty much a V formation. However, that confirmation was only in place once I had that crossover. So this is really a very useful tool, very easy, and I've used it for God knows how many trades, and this is something that just isn't just a confirmation, but is a signal as well. So when used in real time, and especially if you kind of mix it in with RSI, it becomes a really lethal signal for you to bank on. So use it, try it, and analyze it, and get back to me and make some comments down on the bottom to let me know how it goes out. Thank you.